Hey, Michael Matt here. You tired of those annoying ads cluttering up our YouTube videos? We are too. Start watching our show at the totally ads-free Remnant-TVDOTcom.
Right, so the next comment says, please don't forget about those of us who are traditionalists but have no place to go except Novus Ordo masses. Also, there are still some wonderful priests who are doing mass in a very conservative manner. What's your response?
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that's... I hope that people have been watching our show and reading our newspaper and following us for a long time understand how that is so near and dear to my heart. And some of the radical, rad trad friends of mine think that I'm too soft, and I don't even care. I do not care if people say, "Oh, Michael Matt's too friendly with." I mean, we have Protestants in our audience who I'm happy to talk with, and I enjoy talking to. You get kind of tired after a while of just talking to a group of people and everyone's nodding at you, don't you? Mm-hmm. That's really boring stuff. You're not making any headway. You're just preaching to the choir, right? So if I'm willing to talk to Protestants, which I certainly am and do all the time, I just spent a whole weekend talking to a Protestant, and it was a wonderful weekend. I got to say it. Maybe do a show on that about apologetics, Mm-hmm. And we love each other. We're still trying to figure it all out. So if I can say that about Protestants, I think we are all called. I'm not saying I'm virtuous. I'm saying I think all Catholics are called before God to be charitable toward everyone right now who's trying to figure out what to do. People are losing their kids, they're losing their families, they're losing their faith, and now they're losing their countries. It's chaos, And so if the traditional Catholic position is to anathematize everybody who's not here yet, I want no part of that. And if it means that after 35 years of being a traditional Catholic, I have to drop the qualifier traditional Catholic, I will do it in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? If that's what we're going to become known for, this horrible bunch of sanctimonious Karens who are out there saying that everybody who doesn't see the light yet is the spawn of Satan. No, nothing. So of course not. So we have many tradition-minded Catholics who read our newspaper, who watch our show. And I hope, pray to God that I've gotten through to them that we're all in this together. That's what Uniting the Clans is all about. I don't go to the Novus Ordo Mass, and I never will, right? So I'm taking my stand. But somebody who lives out in Timbuktu has no access to the Latin Mass, and he has like a Father Michelli, Vincent Michelli is a good example for me. The old Jesuit who was at Christendom College when I was out there. And early on in his career, when I first got to know him as a friend of my father's, said only the Novus Ordo Mass, because that's the way it was at that point. At the end of his life, he said the traditional Latin Mass exclusively. But I can tell you this Italian Jesuit two-fisted priest who was saying a new Mass when I first knew him, when I was 20 years old or whatever, had a huge impact, especially on the guys at Christendom College, Yet he was saying the new Mass. What do you do with this? You know why? Because he was a traditionalist at heart, and he was doing the right thing, and he didn't like the new Mass, but that's where he was at that point. He said it as traditionally as he possibly could. He was moving in the direction of tradition, and I guess that's how I would answer the question, and generally speaking. What direction are they moving in? I'm not going to name this priest, but I happened to see a diocesan priest talking to somebody else and to a young person who was asking evidently about where to go to Mass and could she go to the SSPX or whatever. And I suddenly see him turn towards everybody who's waiting out in the hall, and he goes, if you want to go to the SSPX, that's just fine with me. Well, you heard it here first. That war is over. And if you don't have any access to the traditional Mass of Trinity St. Peter, the diocese, you want to go to the SSPX, go for it. I give you my blessing. You know what I mean? So a huge...
And he's diocesan also by ritual.
Yes, right? Exactly. By ritual diocesan priest. Mm-hmm. But I think those priests are on the front line. They're the ones who are really fighting hard. And I have many, I'm blessed and graced to count among my friends. I don't look down on them. And I won't go to the Novus Ordo Mass either. And they know I won't. And I won't. But we're all in this together, and they're moving in the direction of tradition. It's just a matter of charity. I think it's basic charity. Don't denounce, don't condemn, don't anathematize people who aren't fully on board yet.
Here's one that says, Trump's back on the Colorado ballot. You supported him in 2020. Is 2024 a bigger deal? And are you going to vote for him?